Taxidermy is something that I started during my degree in zoology, in wildlife management. I found that I had too much free time and there was a lot of specimens around, so I was just playing around, trying to make something beautiful out of it. As time goes by, my interest in it developed, and hence this is where am I now? Okay, a full-time taxidermist at Blackco Taxidermy and Arts. So there are many aspects in taxidermy, or as you call it, the art of preservation. What kind of insects you use, what kind of specimen you use. So in process of stuffing, the real-life animals that you see in the zoo, that is called stuffing. First, you obtain the pet or the carcass, you sanitize it. That is very important so that you don't get any virus or diseases from it. Then you skin it to remove all the internal organs, the bones as well. Preserve the skin, and in the end, create a form to mount it back all together. The process of skinning is also a very tedious process. It requires a lot of knowledge about the animal parts as well. So having a sharp knife to skin it is something that I really enjoy doing. It's how clean you make it, and that is how the specimen will turn out. For skeletons, you already obtain the carcass and either decompose it or even you can manually clean it. After that, you have to go through a series of chemical cleaning before you articulate it back together. Putting it back together using screws, using wires, glues, and any form of adhesive to make it look real again. One thing about taxidermy is that a lot of people think it's very gross, it's very smelly, but in fact, it is not. It is something that is very beautiful. You can admire everything from the insects, from the skulls, from the bones. As I brought it home when I graduated from uni, my mom was a bit reluctant because I was using the house compound to clean all these things. And then when she expressed that she don't really like it, I tried doing it secretly in my room and in the bathroom, yes, and I hid the carcasses in the fridge, like way behind the fridge, she don't know. Yes, so as much as my mom don't really approve of me cleaning the animals in the house, but she knows my fascination with dead things, dead animals. So when she goes out for a jog, she'll come back with a plastic bag and say, "Hey Vivian, something for you." Yes, so that is sort of like my present. Your parents probably come home bringing you food, but mine come back bringing me a dead bird, and I'm like so happy. My very first specimen that I actually acquired when I was walking about in my neighborhood, it was a crow and it's black. It was a very fully deformed crow, probably eaten by a neighbor's cat. It was just lying on the ground. I was having my evening jog and I picked it up, cleaned it up, and it was my very first proud piece. I always find my roadkills in the daytime when I'm driving around also, and I will come back at a safer time, let's say 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. to pick up the roadkill. And there was once I was picking up a roadkill with my sister. A very good Sumatran he parked his car right next to me and asked if I need any help. So he thought I had a flat tire. He didn't know that I was actually dealing with a dead dog. And I was in like full black suit, gloves with a shovel. You can imagine how horrifying it is for the guy. So I say, everything's fine, everything is fine. So I quickly pack up and just leave. The hardest part about taxidermy would be the art of preserving it. How well do you preserve a specimen? I have friends telling me that they have beetles from other countries, but in the end, when they brought it back here, everything starts to smell, everything starts to rot. So taxidermy is really the art of preserving it and how skillful you are when you are doing it. How sure are you your taxidermy item that is preserved will last 50 years or even to 100 years. How sure are you of that if you don't have the right skills to it? As an Asian community, we always believe that the dead are meant to be buried. So for me, making art out of something that has passed away is science, is totally science related. We see it in museums all the time, but there is no stigma behind it because it is for the purpose of education. But then if you are singly, individually doing taxidermy outside of the museum, people would see it as a taboo. And there is a stigma that I wish that people won't have it there because it's technically the same thing. We are just preserving in form of for science, for arts, and something that you actually personally like.